So position one in the series is one of three split positions, typically on a team. And the reason why I call it a split position is because if you have back row setters, typically your back row setter will switch from at serve contact that they'll switch from their rotational position to their playing position. I'm discussing playing positions here. To the right back, that's typically where you're going to want the setter in the number one spot. The reason for that is that it's a shorter path to the optimal target location for the passes and where you run your offense out of, otherwise known as in system, which is sort of right of center, 10 feet from the end, from the sideline, or the right sideline up near the net. That's typically where you want a pass to go, and typically where you want to run the offense from. So that's the quickest defensive position to get there. So that's usually where you're going to want that back row setter. In a 5-1, half the time the setter will be in the back row. In a 6-2 with back row setters, that position will always be a setter. And you could play a 4-2, and that'll never be a setter, in which case it'll be the opposite. And so usually rotationally, if you have a one-setter offense, the other person that's three positions away are called the opposite. So you're exactly opposite them. They're in the back row and the setter's in the front row. And so they'll be playing defense, and so they'll play defense in this position. It helps in both of these cases, a setter or even a hitter, to be a lefty. Anytime you're on the right-hand side of the court attacking, it helps to be a lefty because you're not waiting for the ball to crash across your body, and you're also not quite. You got a little bit better vision. Just like it's better to be a right-handed hitter attacking on the left side of the court, it's better to be a left-handed hitter. But certainly not a lot of elite left-handed opposites in the world, so don't fear that you're a right-handed person. It's actually very common to have that number one position hitter-wise be the opposite and be a righty. As an opposite, one of the things that one of the talents, you're usually a pretty big hitter. We call him a heavy hitter. Someone who definitely hits a hard ball and has a lot of athletics. You'll have a pretty good height to you, typically not as tall as some of the other positions, but very good coordination, and you'll be able to not just jump, but also be able to broad jump, so that you can jump from behind that 10-foot line towards the net and make contact with the ball in the 6 to 8 foot off the net range, and be able to get an effective tack that's not going to get dug on the other side. Setter-wise, you can be a righty and be a setter. You see a lot more lefties at the elite level, but certainly can be a righty as long as you can formulate an attack with either the right hand or both hands, or just be able to dump. But the more important characteristics of our setter are able to position to set effectively the location of the 8 attack zones that I discussed in the intro, and to be able to discover the pace. And ideally, you're like the quarterback position. You'll be athletic. You'll be able to get to the net during a dig and be able to get and set that ball reasonably. And you'll also be able to evaluate matchups between your offensive hitting players and the defensive blockers to try to identify the best opportunity or the weakest mismatch on your side, so you can be more effective. So switching from defensive position to offensive position, the number one player position area, like I said, when you're a setter, I've drawn the green in there. Upon not digging the ball, you'll want to get to that location and expect the pass to be going that way. And of course, you'll be able to sprint from that location should the pass not make it there. And you need to be skilled in setting your hitters. If you're not a setter in that, you're the opposite. I've drawn the blue arrow there, and basically that's your attack position. You're trying to spread out the offense because most cases you'll have a front row setter in that case. So the blockers will tend to stack up on the other hitters there, and you want to be able to take opportunity to get a one-on-one from the back row. So, and if you're digging in this position and you are the setter, you'll just want to put the ball up in the high middle and let the number 5 position typically set this. That's one more caveat to this position.